see, I'm going to the list here. I want to change the list type. Here, the list type I'm removing this. I'm keeping as OL here, and here I'm removing the UL, another list type also. Check how it will be. I'm saving it and I'm executing the, just refresh it. See, even though I remove that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the bullet symbol disk is there. Means by default in the list one numbers is the default type and disk is the default type. When I have given here the list type equals to in double quotes, I'm giving here type, let it be A. And here I want to change my type equals to square. I'm saving this and I'll show how it will. Refresh it. See the change order list. We are getting now A, B, C, D, E. This is means you can give capital or small, whatever it is. If whatever you give, that will come here, and unordered list is processing now. Before it was disk, means circle is, you can observe, but now it is a square bullet symbol you can observe here. And definition list, see what will be there in definition list. I told you that definition list consists of data terms. In this data terms, we can have data definition. This is data term, means HTML is the data term, and for that the definition is what I'm keeping here. HTML stands for hypertext markup language used to create and develop web pages, is the definition here. Means this is how it will come. I didn't give any next line or any space here. Automatically it will take. Here you can see CSS also. It have come like a heading here, and the definition for this heading, you can observe it in the next line, and you can have some free space here. This space I didn't give there, but automatically it is coming. Why? Because it was done automatically done by the DL in the list. This is how we can go with the list. And one more concept that is important to us here with the web pages is the table creation. Table creation is one of the most important concept in order to know how web pages can help in real time. One of the concepts regarding to tables, I'll show how a table will be created, but I'm not typing the text again. I'm taking the complete information here and simply saving it in order to save my time here. See, we are going with the table. In the table, I took same our comment line, HTML head, title. I gave some title here like HTML table, column span or row span, and then I'm going with the table border. Table border is the attribute for the table. Actually, when we didn't give the border, the text will not be represented good. I'll show you without border also. First, we'll execute this, and remember that here in every table, the first tag is the table tag, and next to that is the TR tag, table row. Nothing but it represents, means every table comprises of the rows. And this row tag, whenever we want to keep some headings in the row, we can take that as the first row and take the list of headings here. I just took TH. For TH, I'm taking column 1, column 2, column 3. I'm not giving any particular name here. Simply I'm taking column 1, column 2, column 3. And each column 1 means nothing but here it represents an heading. So we need to go with the TH tag, and it should have to be closed. For every heading, we need to have a TH tag here, and it should have to open and end here. And the first row, once the first row is completed, done, we need to close that first row. And next row, whenever we need to go with the next row, we need to go with the next TR tag, and whatever the format we want, we have to be clear with that format. Here I'm going with TR row span equals to 2, and I'm filling that with the row 1 cell 1. Nothing but row span means first row is having You need to know about two words here regarding to our tables. Actually, every table, apart from the attribute border, it will be given to the table tag itself. And the other things we have to remember for the row is row or the heading we can give that are the data here. Means within a row, we'll keep it for the table data here. Means whatever the data we are giving in the table, for that we'll go with a tag called TD. For that, we can go with the two options. One is spanning and padding. You already have those words before. This spanning and padding represents, spanning means dividing column or rows. Nothing but we can, if we go with the row span means it will divide our row into partitions. If how many, whatever the value you give, not one means we don't need to divide, right? 2, 3, 4, whatever the value you give here, that will divide our rows into that many partitions. If you give like a call span, nothing but it will divide our column into that particular number of columns. This is how we can have row span and call span. And padding, you have a word also, nothing but a topic in the table here that represents the space between, means how much space we have to maintain from the border of the cell to the content of the cell, means that represents the actual space we want to maintain within a particular cell. Within a cell of the table, how much space we need to maintain from the border to the particular text in that or the content in that table. For that, we'll go with a concept called padding. Here, I'm not concentrating on padding. Here, I'm going to give an example regarding row span and column span only. See this, here I'm going with the next row. This next row is having a row span of 2 and having a text here that represents what I want to keep it in the content as in the first row, and next to that I have TD row 1 cell 2, and I'm going with the means here for my row I have 3 data elements, nothing but 3 columns here. When you see 3 data elements, nothing but here it was divided into 3 columns. Remember, it has already divided into 3 columns. If I remove any one of the TD, nothing but it is having only 2 columns. If I remove one more here, if I remove these two, then this row is having only 1 column, not 2 columns or 3 columns. If I go on increasing TD, the number of columns will be increased, and closing the TR tag. And again, I'm moving with the next row. For that next row, I just kept with 2 columns, that is row 2 cell 2 and row 2 cell 3 I took. And finally, I have one more row, that in that row I took TD with call span equals to 3 I took, and this represents the row 3 cell 1. This is how I can have my table data. And finally, for every table, remember, whenever you start with the TR, it should have to be closed for every row. Every row, it should have to be closed. This is how a TR tag will be. And for table, whatever we took, once we go with the table tag, it should have to be closed compulsory. These are the inline tags, so that's why they have to be closed. And next, we have HTML tag, body tag, I'm sorry, body tag have to be closed. And finally, HTML tag. I'm closing the HTML tag here. I'm sorry. File, save as. I'm just saving the table file name table.html. And the desktop I'm saving. I'm going on to the desktop, and where the table is there. Yeah, it is there here. Opening with Firefox. See how the table will be. Means we have 3 columns here, and the 3 columns in that I told you the first cell is having row spanning. So in the row spanning, it was taken as a single cell here, and next cells will be treated in this way. And finally, the last column means nothing but row 3 cell 1, we took only one value, so it was existed in the first column itself, and the two columns will be there. If you give some value, it will automatically will be taken. This is how a table tag will be. And if I didn't make use of border here, what will happen? You see, actually you can find a border here. See, border can be represented. You can also give color to the border also. I'll give some color. Actually, it is not working. So I'll check it. Something went wrong here. I'll remove the border and I'll show you. See here. Once we remove the border, how the text will be. Can you observe the difference here? No, it is not clear here. Why? Because we are not clear with where the column starts and the end and where the row starts and the end. This is the main representation of giving border to a table. Border can be not always one, it can be 1, 2, 3, whatever the thickness you want, that much it will represent. And here for this laptop something went wrong. I'm sorry, it is not accepting the color. I'll tell you in the next video clearly. And thank you for taking all the notes, I think so. And I have covered anchor tag, table tag, and the list here in this video. And in the next video, I'm going to cover you the most important topic, that is images, how we can add images in our web pages. That is an interesting topic. Along with that, I'll cover you the audio and the video, means how we can add audio and the video to our web pages, that I'll cover now.